President Biden compared Donald Trump to a fascist, warning that American democracy would be threatened if his opponent was re-elected. He is willing to sacrifice democracy to gain power, while calling those who oppose him vermin. He says America's blood is being poisoned, echoing words used by the Nazis. U.S. President Joe Biden told supporters in Pennsylvania on January 5, referring to former President Donald Trump. Mr. Biden asserted himself as a defender of institutions in the U.S., warning that the country's democracy would be threatened if Trump was re-elected. Trump's attack on democracy is not just a part of the past. It is what he promises for the future, the U.S. president said. The White House boss also criticized former President Trump for sending a letter to North Korean leader Kim Jong-un and expressing admiration for Russian President Vladimir Putin. These are considered the White House boss's fiercest attacks ever on his opponent Donald Trump, given in the context of some Democrats criticizing his re-election campaign. Biden got off to a slow start. Mr. Trump's election campaign also quickly responded. Mr. Biden is a real threat to democracy, because he is weaponizing government to eliminate key political opponents and interfere in this year's election, said Stephen Chung, his spokesman. Trump, said, the former U.S. president then also attacked his opponent. Biden's record is a long series of weakness, incompetence and failure. That's why Crooked Joe is organizing a cowardly campaign event, spreading fear in the state of Pennsylvania, he told supporters in the state of Iowa. Poll results published by Morning Consult on December 14, 2023 showed that President Biden was 5.28 percentage points behind former President Trump on average in 7 battleground states including North Carolina, Georgia, Wisconsin, Nevada, Michigan, Arizona and Pennsylvania. The survey was conducted from November 27 to December 6, 2023 and the margin of error is 3 percentage points. Morning Consult is a global company headquartered in the U.S. specializing in data science. The company provides global survey research, data and news tools to organizations in the fields of business, marketing, economics and politics. Wall Street Journal polls last month also showed that more than half of American voters said that Mr. Biden's policies have harmed them, while Mr. Trump's policies have brought more benefits. Liberal voters are angry about President Biden's policy on the Israel-Hamas conflict, and complain that he has not been able to realize commitments from the 2020 election campaign. Including promised student loan forgiveness, centrist voters want him to do more to ensure border security, while left-leaning voters say his immigration control policies have been too tough. This is considered the clearest explanation for why support from those who helped bring Mr. Biden to power is weakening. It is also the reason Democrats are increasingly worried about his prospects in the race to the White House. The U.S. Supreme Court accepted Mr. Trump's appeal. The Supreme Court in Washington agreed to accept former President Donald Trump's appeal of the decision to remove his name from the ballot in Colorado. On January 5, the U.S. Supreme Court announced that it would consider the appeal sent by former President Donald Trump 2 days ago about the controversial ruling in the state of Colorado. The court also set February 8 as the time to start listening to direct arguments from the parties. The U.S. Supreme Court justices have not yet responded to a petition from the Republican Party in Colorado, with the same complaint about the decision to remove Mr. Trump's name from the ballot. The Colorado State Supreme Court previously ruled to prevent Mr. Trump from appearing on the Republican primary election ballot in this state, scheduled to take place on March 5. Colorado State Secretary Jenna Griswold praised the U.S. Supreme Court for quickly agreeing to accept the appeal from the former U.S. president. She emphasized that state voters and the American people need the court to clarify whether a person who has been involved in riots has the right to run for the highest position in the country. Mr. Trump's lawyers have not commented on this development. The group Citizens for Responsibility and Ethics in Washington, CREW, previously initiated a lawsuit to disqualify former President Trump from the election, arguing that he participated in the riot at Capitol Hill in January 2021. And ineligible to run for office under Section 3, 14th Amendment of the U.S. Constitution. Noah Bookbinder, president of CREW, also called on the U.S. Supreme Court to prioritize the case and issue a decision as soon as possible. We are pleased that the Supreme Court will make a final decision on the question of whether Donald Trump should appear on the ballot. We look forward to presenting our case and ensuring preservation Constitution, Bookbinder said. The U.S. Supreme Court's ruling will have a huge impact on this year's U.S. presidential election, as well as causing fierce debate in public opinion. Of the 9 judges on the Supreme Court, 6 tend to be conservative, of which 3 were nominated and confirmed under Trump. In addition to Colorado, Mr. Trump is also facing similar lawsuits in several other states such as Maine, Michigan, and Minnesota. Maine Secretary Shenna Bellows said late last month that the 2021 Capitol Hill riot occurred at the direction and support of the outgoing president. Accordingly, she decided to remove Mr. Trump from the ballot due to ineligibility. Courts in Minnesota and Michigan have refused to accept complaints about Mr. Trump's candidacy. Our video ends here. Remember to subscribe so we can meet again in the next video. Goodbye everyone.